that Japan is finally doing it. They're finally banning Sony and buying Xbox. Sony basically had a stranglehold over Japan. The other besides especially when Nintendo failed during the game, when Nintendo failed during the Wii U era and that stuff. Japan's initial Xbox Series X and S pre-orders have quickly sold out everywhere. The Nintendo 16 console seemingly off to a positive start in Japan, which is shocking everybody. Major Japanese retailer quickly sold out the Xbox Series X, and again, they weren't expecting much people to buy them because Xbox doesn't usually sell well in Japan. They don't. On Friday, there appears to be a positive start for Xbox's next-gen consoles. The pre-orders for Xbox Series X and S opened midnight in Japan time, with the more expensive Series X model sold out less than 20 minutes ago on Amazon Japan, and our latest Series S was also sold out at the retail. And people are all shocked because Xbox never sold well in Japan. And major Japanese Xbox chains, Yododoshi, South Map, and base cameras also sold out of all the Xbox consoles. Given Xbox is significantly, unlikely to be high for the reasons pre-orders, regardless, it's positive stuff for the country where Xbox typically struggled. But Wizard Cream on Thursday which has become increasingly its class is growing. Commenting on pre-order performance and Friday, head of Xbox Phil Spencer said he was humbled to see this as a first step in a much longer marathon. Xbox kicked off its Japanese promotion during the All Digital Game Show. And of course, they promoted Xbox Series S and S with Resident Evil 7 and some more games as well. Coming to the Xbox as well. And earlier on Thursday, Microsoft Japan announced a small price cut for Japan version. The gap between them and Sony as well. So it could be the same price as PlayStation. And this is really going to be a blow to PlayStation. Speaking of what's during TGS live stream on Thursday, Xbox Flash feels better. Claimed the platform hasn't won for its past mates, instead of cater towards Japanese players, and probably not censor games at all. And I won't be surprised if Japanese developers stop putting games on the Xbox because Microsoft probably won't censor the games, unlike Sony. We all know Sony is now censoring games in Japan. But of course, they won't censor The Last of Us Part 2. They won't censor that game. They'll keep that game entirely unedited on the PlayStation 4. So Sony Japan had to actually censor it themselves in Japan. Like the scene in Japan. The one scene in Japan. But yeah, that means that, yes, the day and date will be, launching xCloud in the first half of 2021. And there you go, the Japanese promotions. If you've been an Xbox player and you bash the power and convenience of the console, continue to be important to you, supported by the upcoming Xbox Series X. But understand players embrace players' freedom of choice in different ways that you want to play. We're going to create an ecosystem where you choose what you want to play, where you want to play, and device you choose. So you don't want to upgrade to the new console, you don't have to, blah, blah, blah. Because the Xbox Game Pass launched in Japan in April, Xbox has seen more players on Xbox devices, games, and services in more time in history in the market. Xbox has no secret to introduce it to improve its position in the Japanese market. Earlier this year, Spencer said that Xbox's market in Japan was not acceptable and plans to do a much better job with the Series X launch in the region. He also, decided to acquire a Japanese studio on multiple occasions in 2019. And yes, Xbox One made 0.3% of global sales and sold 15,000 copies, compared to 1.7 million for the PS4 and 3.5 million in Switch. So yep, there we go. There you go. So Xbox is already selling better than it was with the other console. It just seems that Sony's days are over. People are probably warning that The Last of Us Part 2 is garbage, no one's gonna buy that, and Sony is just slowly going down a hill that did not return. Because we all know, especially if they make a Last of Us Part 3, that's going to be a big, big, massive failure, no doubt. So that's basically it. Goodbye.